What is up, everyone? Welcome back. This one is for all my crypto fanatics out there and crypto lovers. Cryptocurrency XLM Stellar Lumens. It is not one of the most popular cryptocurrencies out there, but I am hearing more talks about it. And I think we have a real significant opportunity here, guys. This 400% is not clickbait. It is a real opportunity. And that's what I'm about, significant gains. And I am here to provide the chart analysis for you. So let's get to it. And remember, this is not financial advice. So here we are, guys, Stellar Lumens. And just a quick note on cryptocurrency exchanges. You could see here we have Bitstamp and Coinbase, but it is the same for Bitcoin, and this goes for all cryptocurrencies. This is the same stock. It is just traded on different exchanges, guys. I believe Bitstamp is more of European based, and Coinbase is more American friendly and for beginners. And there's different transaction fees. So if anyone has any additional comments, please feel free to comment in the comment section. But basically, it's the same stock and it's just traded on a couple different exchanges. But I always go with the one that has the most data because the more data, the more accurate the chart will be, guys. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so we're in the weekly chart, guys. XLM trading just above 17 cents, and it does not. And just real quick, you could see the pattern here, but remember this is continuous trading, guys. This is not like a regular stock. Cryptocurrencies, very rare stoppages in trading, so it does not take a experienced trader to see that we are in a continuous pattern here, guys. You could see we have this rejection trend line, the red, and the support trend line, the green. And every time we touch it, we have a monster squeeze, and we come back down, right? And then we have a post squeeze, and then we consolidate, touch the trend line again, bang, post squeeze, bang, post squeeze. And the funny thing that I noticed about this is interesting to me, guys. If you look at the dates of these major squeezes, you could see around, November, December, you know, they start around November, December, and November, December again, guys. Excuse me. So you could see we're on the come down phase. We post squeezed here on the come down phase. And, whereas November, December here, say we come to November, December, touch this trend line. If the pattern continues, we have about a 400% chance or higher, guys. That doesn't necessarily have to happen, but that's just basics on the pattern here. And you could see these squeezes are massive, guys. 11,000%, and the post squeezes are also pretty nice too. They are always over 100%, 160. The main post squeezes at least 122%. This one, nice clean move here. 137%, guys, for the post squeezes alone. So we have a very good opportunity here. I like this. I'm glad I stumbled upon Stellar Lumens. I think we have a good opportunity here. For those of you who do not know my content or enjoy my content, check me out at patreon.com/GainsKeeper Trading. I have a premium vault of tutorials and trading systems, guys. We do swing trades, low to large cap, and breakout stocks, and go once a week beyond the charts to focus on personal growth and awareness. I did a video on GoPro 3 weeks ago predicting a quick rebound play, and last week it squeezed over 100%. Our swing trades are killing it right now. Go check us out, guys. Feel free to subscribe on YouTube, guys, and I'll keep producing this content for you. All right, guys, patreon.com/GainsKeeper Trading. And thank you for all the support. Okay, guys, so before we get started with the zones, I'm going to go to the daily chart real quick. And you could see market cap is 5.8 billion for XLM Stellar Lumens, but I would recommend you guys treat this as a small cap stock. And you're going to notice my zones are noticeably typically larger than usual, because cryptocurrencies are more influenced by, outside events and stuff like that, and, public events and publicity, and that causes more volatility, and the volatility causes these bigger sweeps. You could see these wicks here, how much they sweep every time, like we're in the daily chart. This is a daily candle, guys. We dropped 38% in this one day and then rebounded in the same day to close up 36%, guys. So you can see how volatile these zones could be. So that's why my zones are going to be a little bigger on these charts. And that doesn't mean they don't respect the zone. So keep that in mind. The moves are just quicker and more volatile. So we're going to stay in the daily chart, and I'm going to throw the drawings on, guys, and we'll get to it. Okay. So let's start where we are now in the stock, guys, and we'll go through the flow pattern of the stock. We are trading right now in this squeeze support zone. And I call it that because you could see every time we dip into it, if I extend this, we have a monster squeeze. We get rejected by this there's a supply zone up here, but this is a strong rejection on this trend line. And then we come back, and sometimes we have this midway decision maker at just roughly 33 cents. And you can see I call it that because we find support on it and we get rejected on it at the same time. So this is like a halfway point between the squeeze zone and the top rejection point. You could see we find support. I don't want to go through all the touch points, guys, because this is a long chart, but you get the point. And so that could act as the midway squeeze rebound. And this was a rebound of 94%. So keep this zone in mind. But the main re-squeeze, in my opinion, is when we get rejected, we come all the way back down to these zones, the squeeze support zone and the core demand zone here. You could see we dip here, and then from this spot, we come up 186%. And I'll show you in the weekly chart real quick, guys. You could see the squeeze, dip into this zone, big re-squeeze. Squeeze, rejected, dipped into these zones. There's the main re-squeeze. Same thing here, guys. Squeeze, dipped in, just touched it here. That's why I split up into two zones, guys, because we have squeeze support and we have a main demand zone. The point I'm trying to make is that after each monster squeeze, we've always came back and touched these zones before having another re-squeeze, and that squeeze was always over 120%. And you could see, if I go back to the daily chart, guys, these squeezes are explosive and they happen in short periods of time. Let's start from here. This is where the real squeeze started. This is 220% in 6 days, and that's not counting just trading days, guys. Look here. You can even count that day. 3 days total, 244%. These stocks are explosive. They could erupt at any time, and that goes for the downside too, guys. So like I said, treat this as a small cap stock. Look here, look at this one right here. This was a 357% move in just 7 days, guys. So, and the stock comes down, but we have real opportunity here if you catch the right price and if you catch the right zone. So back to the weekly chart, guys. We'll talk about prices to the upside. Obviously, we have a clear rejection trend line here, and we have this core supply zone at about 57 to 64 cents, and the top supply at 71 to about 80 cents, guys. And I would say anything above that is just a bonus, and I will show you more prices to the upside in a little bit. But this is where the core supply is where the price is like let's call it a safe sell zone, guys. Top supply is like the limit before the max limit before the bears usually step in, and anything above that would be a bonus to me, guys. But you get the point. And we have our early rejection line here, guys. You could see on the re-squeezes, we get rejected here. There's multiple touch points. This is more of like an RSI play. If the RSI is oversold and we're approaching this, I'll show you later that the stock respects the daily RSI a lot. So that's one of the reasons we might get rejected early on the squeeze play. But you could see on the main squeezes, we always at least touch this core supply zone. And Fibonacci also comes into play here, guys. I'm going to remove the drawings real quick and the indicators. Sorry, guys. No, I didn't want the indicators. That's it. Sorry, guys. And you could see if I do a reverse Fibonacci retracement here on this clean move, you could see exactly. We know our 786 retracement level is our last retest level of support and resistance. In this case, resistance, since it's a downward retracement. And if it has backing behind it, which is chart structure, our early rejection, we got rejected right on that spot, guys. There's no coincidence here. And you could see our 1272 level for future prices is there. And if I do a Fibonacci retracement on this one as well, you could see our two main extension levels that I like to use and that I abide by usually are basically in these zones as well, guys. So these are definitely future price targets as well, and they're in the core supply zones. But keep an eye on this early rejection and the trend, the rejection trend line as well. The real question is that everybody wants to know: what happens from here, guys? Where are we now? We are in this core rebound zone, about 16 cents to 19 cents. And like I said, this stock has explosive moves. It can this cryptocurrency can squeeze at any time. But let's talk about the ideal world situation here. And I'm going to get rid of the EMA lines, guys. Not that I don't want to rely on them, but the volatility of stock makes me more concerned with the zones and certain indicators, and the EMA lines don't come into much play from my chart analysis here. So this is the beginning of the setup I would like to see before we see that re-squeeze in an ideal trading world. So remember I said in some of my other videos, guys, that certain stocks have more respect for certain indicators than others. And in this case, Stellar Lumens XLM has a lot of respect for the weekly Ichimoku cloud. You could see how thin it is here. We squeezed, right? It's fat here, and as soon as we come down and the stock almost catches up to it, you could say, and it gets thin, we have the squeeze. Same here. It almost looks exactly the same, guys. The exact same pattern, just like the stock. It gets thin here. We consolidate a little bit, then squeezes when it gets really thin. So we are in that initial phase right now, and you can see the squeezes are getting less and less, guys, because of those trend rejection lines. You could see it is fat right now. So in an ideal trading world, I would like to see this play out a little bit more. And, it might line up to, November, December when the last time they squeezed, but I'll make an update at that point. But you know what I'm saying here. I want to see this get a little thinner. That's one of my indicators that I want to see for this stock to play out before the squeeze. And I would like to see, honestly, I know if you're invested in this cryptocurrency already, you don't want to hear this, but I would like to see a lower price, and I want to see some pain in the stock before we squeeze, because every time we've entered this zone here, you could see we're here now. We might get rejected like this. So if this plays out, I would like to come down to this volume trigger zone or the low core demand zone and the early reaction zone with the prices here, guys. I'm not going to read them out, but you could see these are significant prices. The core demand zone, not financial advice, would be the ideal buy. Early action could happen, but you could see we always dip into this lower core demand zone. But it does not have to happen if this trend line is super valid, guys. So we could find support on this trend line. If we don't, these are the next price goals to the downside with the Ichimoku cloud. And you could see I have this volume trigger here, guys. We're in the weekly chart, remember, still. You could see every time we are on this blue line, we get significant volume. Look at this volume spike. Even here, the volume wasn't a huge spike like this one, but you could still see we have some volume. And over here on this blue line, in between this blue and the yellow line, we have a huge volume, guys. So keep an eye on this volume trigger. Every time we find support on it, that's when the squeeze usually happens. And one more note on the indicators, guys. Let me bring the RSI up. This is the daily RSI. I'll make it bigger just for the point of the tutorial here, video. You could see the Stellar Lumens respects the RSI, the daily RSI, a lot. You could see just put the correlation between the mouse and where the RSI is. When it's oversold, we have the up price. When it's overbought, we have the down price, guys. It's very reactive to that. You could see the peak here, even the small dips. And, these aren't really, they look small, but they're not too small, guys. 15%, 17%. If you're an active swing trader, these are good plays for you. But obviously, we want to see the big squeeze. So in an ideal world here, we see that weekly Ichimoku cloud thinning out. We have a little consolidation to the downside. Maybe touch this trend line here with an oversold daily RSI, and that'll be the squeeze play we've been looking for, guys, in around November. So let's see here, and then we can cut out, at least I would say 200%. I think we at least touch this line, and then 400 plus would be ideal, guys. So, but this could be a potential big play. Keep an eye on this, guys. It's always good to understand and visualize patterns. This one is very evident to me, guys. But once you do more chart analysis and you look at more charts, you'll be able to spot these patterns with no problem, guys. Remember, I'm more focused on the zones for this cryptocurrency, not so much the EMA lines. Be very tight with your stop losses in these stocks, guys, these cryptocurrencies. They're very volatile, as I showed you, the sweeps. You'll get swept out, and then the price will be you'll be in a positive position if you didn't get stopped out, and you'll be like, what the hell's going on? So, make sure you have those zones located. Copy the chart, pause the video. I'm going to do a video on XRP soon, guys. I know it's a more popular stock, and I like what I'm seeing in that stock as well. Guys, enjoy the market while it's ripping, and have a successful trading week.